Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I just wanted to do a rather short video, I believe it'll be short, on the most challenging fingerstyle move that I've ever tried to do. Okay, I think it's challenging for others too, because I was learning this at the same time with a friend of mine, Chris, who I did an interview with on the channel. Some of you may have seen it, with Chris Rutledge. And we were both kind of learning this song at the same time. And I remember going up to his place there outside of Memphis, and we were sitting in the living room, and he was, saying, "Hey, I'm learning this song," and he said, so he was showing it to me, and I don't remember the name of it right here in this video. I'll see if I can find out and put it in the description or in a text box floating above me here somewhere. But there is a section of this song, and it is hands down the most challenging fingerstyle move that I think I've ever done. And of course, I'm no genius when it comes to fingerstyle, but it was very, very challenging. And really what you do is you come up here to this, make this C7 shape, make a C7, slide it up to that G fret, and really what you do is put your ring finger up on to catch that bass note on that number 5 fret, number 6 bass note, right? And you leave it there. And in this, and then you're also going to use a shortened version of the G chord right here with just utilizing strings 6, 4, 3, and 2. And so it's kind of sounds like this, and then you have your C7 shape on the I don't know, is that on the A fret? I guess the bass note is up here on the actual A fret. So I don't know what that is, but make a C7 down here, slide it up to that G, between the G, to cover the G and the A fret, okay? Slide it up 2 frets and put your ring finger up on that number 6 bass note and leave it planted. And what's difficult about this was, on this particular move, what you have to do is you have to slide this index finger from fret 3 to fret 4, okay? And you have to do it without moving these other fingers off of where they're planted. And that's the challenging part. So for this C7 shape up here that we've moved up a couple of frets, you're going to do your bass note. But as you go to that number 4 bass note, you are sliding your index finger up 1 fret. So like this. Just like that. Then you swap to that G, shortened G, kind of. Put your fingers appropriately here on strings 2, 3, and 4. Just one right after the other, right there. And cover that bass note up here with your thumb, okay? And you do the same thing. You slide that index finger up 1. Just like that. Now, when you first hear that, you think, well, it's not a big deal. It's kind of what I thought when I saw Chris doing it. I thought, yeah, piece of cake. So I got my fingers and I got them on the fretboards. We got to that piece of the song, because the song kind of... And that's the opener to it. But then after you do that a couple of times, you come up here and pick up this C7 shape. And you go... Anyway, you get the idea. But it's this C7 shape right here, that, and the F shape as well, because Now your fingers are having to do something in a back and forth movement, as opposed to just moving them up a string or down a string or whatever it may happen to be. In fingerstyle, like yes, that's very challenging when you first start doing it, but it doesn't take long to get used to it, and pretty soon you're off to the races. Now, you didn't see any of my fingers sliding in that. This one, everything has to remain the same. And then that number 2 string on that number 3 fret, index finger, you got to slide it up as you hit that number 4 bass note, coming out of that number 6 bass note to that number 4 bass note. Once you strike that number 4 bass note, you slide. Just like that. Then pick up that number 1 string. And I'm not going to go through all that picking pattern for you in this video. I just wanted to share a video and say, this is the most challenging move in fingerstyle I have run across. So, just to get it to operate independently and not have all your fingers, because before when I did it, it went, and that don't sound good, does it? So it has to move independent. It doesn't mean the others can't slant or something, but they can't come up a fret or, a step or so. So now it gets easier. But it doesn't get easier right away. By the time I left his house, I still couldn't do it. Not without these some of these other fingers shifting upwards. So leaning them, okay, yeah, you can get a little lean out of them, but and you can see how my hand kind of moves, but my fingers don't. Okay. And then you got to shift out of that pretty quick. But just that little move, right? You want to do something that challenges your fingerstyle ability. Do this. This song is a lot of fun to play. And lately Admittedly, I practiced, semi-learned it, and then kind of put it down, didn't play it again for a while. I played it in 1 or 2 videos, short clips, that kind of thing, but I came back to it the last several evenings, and I've spent a lot of time with it. So anyway, I know a lot of people watch the channel because of the guitar review, so in the hashtags on this, I put MacKenzie Marr. This is the Riverboat, and I've had this guitar now for, what, folks, a couple of months maybe at this point, and I will tell you that it is fast becoming one of my favorites. Adirondack spruce top, I think it's Brazilian rosewood back in, is it Brazilian rosewood? I think it's Brazilian rosewood. I had to go back and look on the specs, but very, very beautiful, very impressive. Hopefully things don't blur. That is absolutely gorgeous rosewood, okay? And look at the binding. That is flame maple binding back and sides. And the fretboard is also bound, folks, with the same thing. And it is just a work of art, this guitar. Yeah, flame maple as well on the fretboard. And ebony bridge, ebony fretboard, and mahogany satin finished neck. Everything else is gloss on this guitar. And let me tell you that every time I pick it up, I get a deeper appreciation for what MacKenzie Marr is doing. I really do. This is one fantastic guitar. Now I don't know where it's at now with tariffs and all that kind of thing at the moment. But I will say, as far as I'm concerned, if this were just hanging on a wall somewhere and I didn't know much about guitars, I'd probably think this was a $5,000 guitar. It reminds me of like a Martin D45. It is, I don't know, folks. This is extremely impressive guitar. And by the way, they gifted this guitar to me. For those of you that maybe didn't see the video on it, I had a Grand Manan 2. I still have it. I did a review on, and they were so appreciative of it. They just sent me this guitar. They didn't even ask me to review it. They just said, "Here you go. Thank you." Wow, I wish they lived next door to me. But the sustain on this guitar, just throw this into the video, This is one fine instrument. Let me just say that. Well, listen, I hope you tried that challenging lick if you're doing fingerstyle. And I think it'll make you a better fingerstyle guitarist as you pick up some of these more difficult moves. And I say difficult because it's the independent control of your fingers. Makes you a better fingerstylist, and I wouldn't call myself a fingerstylist. I mean, I piddle, and I guess you could say I piddle at fingerstyle. I've seen real fingerstyle guitarists before, and I don't think I'm that guy. But I will say it took me a while to get this down. You get the idea. It took Chris a little bit too to get this down, and that guy's 100 times better over than I am on a guitar. But it's not an easy lick. So if you're looking for a new challenge in fingerstyle, there you go. Try that. And I'll see if I can find the name of this tune. I think I got it in a text message somewhere, and see if I can put it in the chat box, or on the text box somewhere. But if I don't, I'll put it in the description. So listen, folks, it's good to see everybody. I wished I could upload more videos on a more frequent basis, but I can't do it right now. But I will say I miss visiting with you. I appreciate all the comments. Those of you that subscribe to the channel means the world to me. I would like to see the channel grow. I'd be lying if I said anything otherwise. I mean, it's nice to have a good group of people on that hold things in common with you, and a guitar is a great thing to hold in common, especially this MacKenzie Marr, folks. Have a good one. Appreciate you. God bless each and every one of you. Have a great weekend.